Today we'll be looking at neoliberalism and its influence on trade, industry, and employment. Neoliberalism is the idea or notion that society should be shaped by a free market, which is a diversion from state ownership, and also that the economy should be deregulated and privatized. Its main characteristics are privatization, deregulation, free trade, reduction in public expenditure, elimination of the public good or community. Now we look at the impacts or influences on trade. Neoliberalism has modified the conceptualization of markets. With this, the economy and trade is less dependent on the state and is controlled by the force of supply and demand. A free market is developed where those who wish to transact trade are met with no barriers and no intervention from the state. Such a market, however, is rarely existent in the real world, as restrictions such as tariffs are imposed on most goods. However, neoliberalization policies have influenced the elimination of state-imposed tariffs. This can be achieved through trade agreements between countries. One example is the North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA. Industry. Neoliberalism is fueled by capitalism, and with capitalism we have seen several industries develop into becoming major parts of global economies. The manufacturing of goods and the procurement of the necessary parts is influenced by neoliberalism, and these industries are then supported by trade agreements made between the countries that have the materials. Also, we can see that when industries operate independently from the state, they do so in a manner that can often lead to environmental degradation. This can occur through the exhaustion of natural resources and the pollution of the environment. Therefore, various laws need to be put in place to stop these capital or privatized industries. Next, we have employment. And neoliberalism affects employment when businesses seek many ways to capitalize on income. One such infamous method is through the employment of cheap labor force. As production is determined by demand, businesses become high-risk affairs as companies seek ways to churn out a profit. This fares badly for the employees, especially the lower class. Market liberalizing policies sacrifice the social and political rights of employees in the interest of economic competitiveness. This can lead to people being underpaid or worse, automation and people being redundant, proving that neoliberalism has a negative impact on employment. And this is where we will conclude the video.